End of last year, we did about $20 million in revenue, just north of 20 million in revenue. We'll do just shy of 40 million. We're definitely beating projections right now. I think we'll be right around 39.5 million in revenue. Good morning. Long time no see, everybody. Hope all's been well. Hope you guys are having an amazing year so far this year. Before we know it, AEP is going to be here. It's going to be fun. Carrier rollouts are going to start coming here soon on the MA side. Super excited. But I wanted to give you guys an update of where EIP is so far this year, kind of what we're on track to do, where we are. And I really want to give you guys a quick, high level blueprint of, what we're doing to hopefully help you guys out from your agency perspective, or if you're a one-man show or you're a 100-man show. We're 175 total team members right now. We'll be about 220 by end of year. And we started this year with just under 100. Okay, so we're going from just under 100 to about 220-ish team members by the end of the year this year. Yeah, pretty crazy growth. End of last year, we did about $20 million in revenue, just north of 20 million in revenue. We'll do about 40 million in revenue this year, just shy of 40 million. We're definitely beating projections right now. I think we'll be right around 39.5 million in revenue. So let's backtrack here. Let's go back to 24, kind of what we did in 24 to fast forward to mid-year 25, and how are we seeing such a big growth? So modeling. I can say that was our number one key factor in driving and not taking a whole bunch of chips off the table. We put a model together beginning of last year, and really we're staying to that model. And what do I mean by a model? Business plan, right? What's the business plan mean? Hey, we're hiring 10 people on this date. We're hiring 20 people on this date. We're hiring 3 people on this date. Whatever your number is, okay? All numbers got to match with it, okay? If you hire people, you're going to have a whole bunch of expenses that need to go out from a salary perspective to lead costs. And you got to account for revenue that's ultimately coming in, whether it be a 12-month advance that you're getting from a med sub carrier, or you're on a heat deal with it on the MA side, or you're just on a traditional deal on the MA side. So throw your modeling together. So we built our models at the beginning of last year. I've kind of tweaked them throughout the year and set them in stone this year. And we're tracking. Don't get me wrong, we've definitely hired less and more than what we wanted to and what our models are. And that's going to happen, right? For example, life insurance. So we started life insurance late Q3 last year, 2 small classes last year, proof of concept. We wanted to understand the CPAs and persistency and the placement rate. I mean, persistency, you can't figure out. We still are trying to figure out the persistency there, right? We're about almost 12 months into it, so we can start getting some data on the 12-month persistency. But you can get 30, 60, 90-day persistency. Hey, what does our placement rate look like? What's the average annualized premium? All that jazz. So proof of concept was proven late Q3, early Q4. So we doubled down in early this year and hired a pretty large class. So goal was to hire 30 agents. We ended up hiring 26 agents. I believe, don't quote me on this, but of the 26 that we hired a few months ago, I believe we have about 20 that are still on board with us. So we're right around 30 total agents on the final expense side as of right now. Super happy with it. Now, this is where people screw up. A lot of people end up, hey, I'm going to go ahead and move into a division and get some cash and throw it in my pocket versus growing. And hey, we did that as owners for a few years, and now we're doubling back down into growing the business. So I'm definitely not making nearly as much money as I used to because we're growing this team. But going back to that, so 26 agents at 20, around 30, proof of concept has worked. Lifetime values are there, or CPAs are there. Lifetime values it's first year, where we kind of understand where that is. it's helped us grow our Medicare side as well. So what we've done is the cash that we're making up front, because do mind you now, depending on who your FMO is, who you're working with, what carriers you work with, so on and so forth, mainly on the life insurance side, you're going to get a 9-month advance, right? And then you can have a debit balance up to a certain threshold, whether that be $1 million or $2 million. Some are unlimited, depending on, again, who your upline is, so on and so forth. So what we've been able to do is keep our CPAs right around $500. Average premium's been right around $1,250. Average annualized premium's been around $1,250. And we're writing a whole bunch of level, some graded and some guaranteed issues. So our compensation is very good from a first year commission perspective. So we're taking that cash and we're throwing it back into the business into other areas, whether that be a Medicare, wealth, and just growing all divisions within the company. So it is become a cash cow for us. Now, why I love Medicare so much is that residual income. The lifetime value of a Medicare supplement is significantly more from what I'm expecting than a life insurance. So, we still are focusing on Medicare. I still love Medicare. I will always do Medicare, but we want to diversify. I focused on Medicare for a long time, but with the ups and downs and lefts and rights of everything that's gone from carriers not paying commissions to pulling out of the market to this and that, diversification is not a bad thing. Getting into life insurance was big for us, and it's been able to help us grow some of the other businesses. So what else have we done other than started life insurance? Huge classes on the Medicare side. So we're hiring our second Medicare class this year. They actually are starting with this upcoming Monday. So a lot of them were with us last week. They're taking their exams for their life and health this week. And then we also have about 50% of those team members that are already coming over to us licensed. So we're going to be in the mid 30s. I'll be around 35, 36. That'll actually start with Med 101 with us to get into our Medicare program. And I think we'll be in the low 30s. That'll end up getting through Medicare 101, that get into Sales 101 with us and actually hit the phones. So we're going to be, call it 32, 33 agents going in and have them fully ramped or close to fully ramped come AEP. And we'll be right around 80 total Medicare agents on that side. We'll be at 70 total life insurance agents because we got one more life insurance class at the end of the year. And that'll put us at about 70, well, maybe not 70, about 60 life insurance agents. Higher. Okay, that's what we've done this year. Again, went from almost 100 people at the beginning of this year, going to be north of about 220 total people. That's not just agents, right? That's all divisions, right? From marketing to operations to customer service to new business to the executive team, so on and so forth. So a lot of different lines, a lot of things that are going on. Something that I haven't talked about that I want to kind of give everybody an update on. If you're not doing this, you need to have a conversation with us. And I will give credit where credit's due, and I'm not going to call him out here unless he wants me to. Somebody up in the northeastern side of the United States has become actually a good friend of mine now. We're working with him on the brokerage side of things, and he got us into the wealth side of it. Now, we don't have a true proof of concept yet. We just started calling on the appointments yesterday, but just think about this. We got about 50 total Medicare agents today that are on the phones. From about 50 Medicare agents, we're generating 7 to 8 appointments a day for our wealth team. Okay. And what we're ultimately going to do is have our wealth team. Now, when I say wealth, not managed money. Okay. We might open up an RIA at some point in the future, but as of today, again, I need to prove my proof of concept first before I decide to start working on other things. But think of, when I say wealth, I'm talking annuities. I'm talking single premium whole life. I'm talking IULs. Okay. We're booking anywhere, call it 8 appointments a day right now. I think we'll probably be able to, with our current agent base, we'll get to about 12. And I think our wealth advisors, which are our wealth agents, right, will be able to close 1 to 1.5 deals a day is where I think we are. Now, what's the average size of that? It's going to vary from 20,000 probably deal size up to $250,000. I think the average is probably going to be sitting closer to about 100,000 based upon what I'm hearing. But what I am hearing from a lot of groups, and I reached out to call it the big three in the space and saying, hey, are there any call centers, right? And I always hate to use the word call centers but that's what we are, right? We're bucketed into that call center realm, even though we don't act like some of the call centers that are out there in the space. But anyways, I've talked to a lot of people and said, hey, are call centers doing this? Are face-to-face agents doing this? And there's very few in between. I mean, unless you're a career shop, right? That's brick and mortar, that's face-to-face. It's not common for a lot of people to do wealth. Okay, so we're going to test it out. We're just asking a simple question. Do you want to talk to a wealth advisor? It's a little bit more in depth than that. If you work with us on the brokerage side, I'm more than happy to give you all of our scripting, exactly how we do it. You follow my playbook, I promise you it'll work. Okay, it's a proven concept. So we're asking the question, booking the appointment, and he actually just started calling on those yesterday. Okay, so we hired our first wealth advisor. We have an area for about 7 total people, wealth advisors that we expect to have when we're fully built out on the Medicare side and the life insurance side. I expect us to have about 7 wealth advisors doing over $250 million of annuities and life insurance just on the wealth side. We're already going to do a lot on the normal life team and the Medicare team. So just think about that, $250 million. Now that doesn't, I know I'm saying some big numbers here, 20 million, 40 million, right? You might just be at 2 million and you want to go from 2 million to 3 million or 3 million to 6 million or 3 million to 4 million, right? I'd love to tell you that we doubled our revenue every single year. No, we haven't, right? It's not common. We're going to probably go from 40-ish million this year to, I'd say, mid 50s next year. And then within the next 5 years, we'll be close to $100 million in revenue that's ultimately coming in. But that's because of the fact that we built a very successful business over there, coming up on 11 years. September will be 11 years for us. That didn't happen overnight, right? And the numbers that I'm saying may not be what you guys are looking for. You don't need to be, 20 to 40 million, right? You may be 2 to 4. And what I'll tell you is this. We've got the playbook, okay? Whether you're a face-to-face agency, you're a call center, you're hybrid, you do both, right? You're doing Medicare, you're doing life, you're doing wealth. We've got the playbook that's there, and that's the reason why I started the brokerage side of it, right? We started the brokerage side of it because of the fact that there's a lot of agencies that just need a little bit of fine-tuning to be able to take you to that next level. We're going to give you the same levels that you're getting from, call it the big three, or from other groups that are out there that might be under those big three or what have you. We've got most of the same deals. And we're direct with practically every single carrier out there. From we're not direct, we're working on getting direct with a couple of MA carriers. But on the med sub side, we're direct practically on every single carrier. What's the value of working with somebody like us? Well, everything that I just said, right? I shouldn't need to convince you to come in. Let me help you build your business, and let us. I can't say me. I'd love to tell you that you're gonna get 20 hours a week from me. That's not gonna be the case. I'm definitely gonna be able to point you in the right direction. Good news is I've got 170 people in the office that can help out, right? From operations to hiring to compliance to whatever you need. I've got a 60,000 square foot office in Tampa. We have people that fly in all the time that come spend 2-3 days with us. I'm not charging you to come learn about my business, right? The only thing you've got to do is you got to work with us, right? From a brokerage perspective, we will help you in that regards. And, at the end of the day, we all win together. All right. So listen, we went from 20 million almost to 40 million. We'll go from 40 million to damn near 60 million. Just think about that in 2 years. I own my business. I'm not owned by private equity, venture capital, or anybody else, okay? We own our business. We are doing this at scale because of the fact that we know our numbers. If you don't know your numbers, you're not going to be able to scale like us. That's why I was talking to you about your modeling, your pro forma, your business plan, right? You have to have one of those to be able to do anything. I mean, you don't have to have one to be successful. We kind of went off on the money in on the account for the first, call it 9 years. Hey, we had an extra 500 grand. Okay, let's go hire people. It wasn't fun. This is much easier to manage it with modeling, but that's what we're here for. We're here to help you out in any way that we possibly can. Love to be able to point you in the right direction, whether it be ancillary, it be life insurance, it be wealth. What do you need help with? We're one of the top Medicare agencies in the nation. We're becoming one of the top life insurance brokerages in the nation as well. Let us know how we can help. So brokerage at teameip.com. Follow us on social media. Reach out to us. The easiest way to get a hold of us is sending us an email. We'll set up an appointment, have a conversation, see if we're a good fit. We're not taking a ton of people on the brokerage side. We're investing in a handful of shops a year that's looking to grow, that fits what we're ultimately trying to accomplish. If you're a shitty shop and you're not doing business the right way and you're not helping clients and you're just trying to make a quick buck, I'm not your guy. Okay. EIP is not your group. We want people that want to help not only our consumers. Okay. Number one, and first and foremost, helping our consumers. Number two, being good employers. Okay. To your employees, treating your people the right way, making a good living for yourself and them and their families. And number three, you got to think about the carrier partners, right? I say this time and time again. I talk about it a lot in the business. Nobody really talks about these carriers do a lot for us. They do more than everybody really, gives them credit for. Yeah, they're making a ton of money and everything else, but so are you. Okay. Without them, we wouldn't have a business. So, if you think you want to work with us, you want to have a conversation, reach out, brokerage at teameip.com. There's a form on our website, on theelitebrokerage.com. Social media, you can message me, message Kurt, message anybody on the team, and would love to have a conversation. See you guys.